Hi guys, welcome back to the Extraordinary Self podcast. Today I'm starting a two-part series that I call More Than a Mirror. It is based on body image, where we dive deep into the complexity of what body image is, not just how we look, but how we feel about our bodies, how we think about them, and how those thoughts shape our daily actions. Body image isn't just a women's issue, it's a human issue. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the body image struggles men and teen boys face, often in silence. We'll cover the 4 key components of body image, what studies are revealing about male body dissatisfaction, and how performance-based training helped me move toward a healthier, freer relationship with my body. All right, let's get into it. The 4 components of body image. I think this is important to actually understand. It's not just what you see in the mirror. According to psychological research, body image is made up of 4 components. The first one of them being perceptual, how you see your body, which may not reflect reality. Affective, how you feel about your body. Cognitive, the thoughts and beliefs you hold about your body. And behavioral, the actions your thoughts and feelings drive, like avoiding photos, obsessive dieting, or compulsive exercise. Understanding these components helps us see that body image is multi-layered. It's not just one size or aesthetics. It's emotional, mental, and behavioral. So let's dive into first the male perspective, or what studies are saying about male body image. Obviously, I am a female, I'm a woman, but I have been in the fitness industry for some years now. And obviously, like I said, it's a human issue, it's a human topic. A lot of the things that women go through overlaps. They just have slightly different emphasis or focuses. So let's go into that. Studies show that men are struggling in silence, and that silence is probably deafening for them. I feel terrible that men are in this position and it's not as accepted to discuss. Like for females, it's really normal to hear in the news, hear studies, have conversations. Famous people discuss this all the time. And so for the male side, it's not as popular to discuss. According to the Newport Institute, male body dissatisfaction has dramatically increased over the last 3 decades. And here's what they found. 25% of normal weight males perceive themselves as underweight. 90% of teenage boys exercise with the specific goal of bulking up. Many young men are increasingly engaging in disordered eating, excessive exercise, or using supplements and steroids to achieve the lean muscular ideal. Why the rise? Well, because the male body ideal has shifted. The pressure isn't just about being thin anymore, it's about being shredded, jacked, vascular, alpha. The rise of superhero movies, fitness influencers, and social media have created a new wave of pressure. Men are taught to act like body image doesn't affect them. But beneath the surface, many are dealing with things. And when I was doing this research, I have to say, I probably held that belief slightly that, it doesn't affect men as much, or they don't have so much pressure as women. It just comes in a different way, but I think it's just the same. I really do think they feel the same amount of pressure. They have different expectations, and they're allowed different things, like in the public eye, that women are not allowed, like, ageism, or like just small other things that for females it's not accepted. And obviously the female body has been used to sell everything. Yes, I want to say it's a huge female issue, and I'll get into that in segment 2, all these little differences. But the men too, they see this. I mean, who doesn't love like a superhero? That's what they've been seeing since young. What boy doesn't? The majority of boys, play with some kind of action figure. So many are dealing with muscle dysmorphia, also called bigorexia. So just wanting more muscle and more volume to their body. Shame around softness or body fat. Fear of being perceived as weak. Guilt around food, especially when trying to bulk or cut. Let's look at the top body image issues for men. Number 1 being muscle size and definition, chest size, height, body fat percentage, hair loss or thinning, abdominal definition, skin quality, facial symmetry, weight, scale number. The pain may look different, but it's real, and left unaddressed, it can impact every part of a man's life. Okay, so I want to get into a personal story here that I think would make sense to add during this time. Getting into CrossFit changed a lot of things for me, not because it sculpted my body necessarily, but because it shifted my mind. When I started training for performance, for strength, for skill, for stamina, my entire relationship with my body evolved. Suddenly, my body wasn't just something to fix, it was something to fuel. I saw what it could do. I wasn't just worried about being my thinnest self or just exercising to look my best. I was fueling for a workout. I was trying to learn a new skill. I was pushing limits that my bodies can do, running faster, lifting heavier, learning gymnastic skills, things like that. And so I saw my body in this other, such empowering way. Another benefit was seeing all these CrossFit women do it too, and just see these strong, muscular bodies and saying, this is another way to look at the female body. I wasn't trying to shrink, I was trying to grow stronger. And this mindset shift protected me for when later I entered into bodybuilding. I had already built the mental foundation of body respect. I wasn't looking for a trophy to give me worth. I had it already. And if your fitness goals are robbing you of peace, if food is all consuming, if your mirror is your greatest critic, it's time to reframe. And I'll get into how I transitioned from CrossFit or performance-based fitness into a very physique-oriented sport that I have high respect for. It's different, but it's just as hard, it's just as beautiful, and I have high respect for it. And I'll dive deeper into that in segment 2. But right now, let's continue a little bit. I want you to understand that if you change your mind and emotions about your body, you remove the limits of what your current body and self can experience. In that way, you can craft like an existence of self-acceptance and really start living the way you desire. So here's what I'm getting at. It comes from deep inside. It comes from deep-seated beliefs. And if we start rewriting that script, it's where we start changing, really changing, and making this process a fun process, an enjoyable process, one that taking care of your body, achieving goals, whether performance or physique goals, are not to give you worth, but it's just to honor the body that you have and then do it in a style that brings you joy, if that makes sense. So here's the truth. Staying where you are is hard. Changing is hard. But staying stuck in body shame drains your energy, and energy is your most valuable resource. So what can we start doing? Start small. Ask what your habits are telling you about your beliefs. Decide that your body is worth nourishing. Choose actions that honor your future self, not just your current critic. Your new script can sound something like, I'm building a respectful relationship with my body. I don't have to look perfect to be strong, valuable, or desired. My health is more than aesthetics. It's about energy, vitality, and freedom. I can want change without self-loathing. My worth isn't found in my reflection. If you're a guy and you're listening today, I want to personally invite you to start talking about this with friends, partners, mentors, coaches. The silence surrounding male body image is heavy, but it doesn't have to be permanent. It's okay for you guys to also say you worry about how you look and address it and not bury it, and find good channels, right? To put this preoccupation, this energy elsewhere into positive things. In part 2, I'm going to explore the female experience. We're going to dive deeper into other concepts too that can apply for male and females. I'll include my personal story of growing up in the 90s, being bombarded by pop culture ideals, and how I rewrote my own internal script. We'll talk about my postpartum body changes, comparison, and the slow but powerful shifts that led me to true self-acceptance. I want you to know that you are more than your reflection, you're more than your abs or your insecurities, you're more than a mirror. Thank you for tuning in today, and please come back for part 2, the female experience.